Respected dignitaries of the dais, faculty members, research scholars, students, non-teaching staff, and participants from various universities in India. A very good afternoon to all of you. I take this utmost opportunity to sincerely welcome you all to the much awaited panel session 1 for this two-day national seminar, which is on credibility of news in the AI era. We have very prominent panelists today. Now, may I request Professor Srinivas Vadanam, sir, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, may kindly come onto the dais and occupy the chair. May I request Dr. K. Srinivas sir, Senior Journalist, may kindly come onto the dais and occupy the chair. May I request Sri C.H. Sushil Rao sir, Editor Special Sports, The Times of India, kindly come onto the dais and occupy the chair. May I request Srimati Uma Sudhir Madam, Executive Editor, NDTV, may kindly come onto the dais and occupy the chair. May I also request Mrs. C. Vanaja Madam, Mahua Media, may kindly come onto the dais and occupy the chair. We have another panelist today, Sri K. Srinivas Reddy sir, Editor Telangana Today, who is on the way. He is going to join us very soon.
What a girl, what a girl.
Now we'll proceed for presentation of sampling. May I request Dr. Yadagiri to present a sampling to Dr. K. Srinivas sir. Dr. K. Srinivas sir is a senior journalist, social commentator, columnist, poet and critic. He is very well known to us. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Sunil to present a sampling to Sri C.H. Sushil Rao, sir.
Photo di Sudhakar.
May I request Professor Pallavi Kapde Madam to kindly come onto the dais and present a sampling to Srimati Uma Sudhir Madam. May I request Dr. Fatima to present a sampling to Mrs. C. Vanaja Madam. Please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now I request respected Professor Srinivas Vadanam sir, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, to kindly conduct further proceedings. Dear audience, our eminent speakers need no introduction. They are well known to us. Nonetheless, as a matter of academic decorum, I take this opportunity to introduce them formally. We have today Dr. K. Srinivas sir, who is a senior journalist, social commentator, columnist, poet and critic. He served as the editor of the Andhra Jyoti daily newspaper. He has made distinguished contribution to literary criticism, poetry, special essay, writing and translation. His contributions to Telugu literature has been the source of academic literature research, not just to Telugu language, but also across social sciences. Thank you, sir. We have with us another distinguished panelist today, Sri C.H. Sushil Rao, sir, who is a senior editor, special sports with the Times of India.
Special reports.
Special reports. The Times of India. He is the former principal correspondent at Deccan Chronicle. He is well known as TEDx speaker and document filmmaker. He covers news analysis on Telangana, the Indian diaspora across the world, and the Telugu film industry. Thank you, sir. And we have with us another panelist, very famous, Uma Sudhir Madam, who is a senior Indian journalist and who is also the executive editor for the South Indian division of NDTV. She also worked with the Economic Times. She is a social commentator, columnist, poet, and critic. She has been the recipient of a number of awards, including the Ramnath Goenka Excellence Award in Journalism and Chamili Devi Jain Award for Outstanding Women Media Persons. She has also been recognized by the Confederation of Indian Industry as an industry leader in her work to the field of journalism. Thank you, ma'am. We have with us Mrs. C. Vanaja Madam, who is a prominent Indian journalist and filmmaker, known for her work in Telugu media. Presently, she is working with Mahua Media, and she is an independent journalist and document filmmaker, and who refers to herself as non-fiction storyteller. Her work has included political analysis, interviews, and coverage of various events. And we have another distinguished guest today, Sri K. Srinivas Reddy sir, who is on the way. He's going to join us very soon. He's a senior journalist, social commentator, and columnist. Presently, he's serving as the editor for Telangana Today daily newspaper. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Vadanam sir, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, to kindly conduct further proceedings. Thank you, sir.
Respected panelists, Dr. K. Srinivas Garu, my teacher in the journalism department in my Varta days. Sir was my teacher. He taught us how to write news, how to edit news, and how to translate news from English to Telugu. I have a lot of admiration on sir. Before sir, I am not able to speak anything. If I speak anything wrong, please pardon me, sir. And respected Sushil Rao Garu, editor, special reports, The Times of India, and Srimati Uma Sudhir Garu, executive editor, NDTV, Mrs. C. Vanaja Garu, Mahu Media, and our respected Vice Chancellor of the dais, and all the dignitaries of the dais, editors, and delegates, students, directors, deans, senior professors. Good afternoon to all. I welcome you all to this panel discussion. In fact, when we planned for this seminar, we wanted to conduct only technical sessions. But credibility of news in AI era, this is buzzword these days. Everybody is speaking about this topic. Credibility of news in AI era. Before AI era, did we have credibility of news? That is a major question in our minds. We inquired many people, we discussed with senior professors, and because of seriousness of credibility existed in a journalism industry, so we should conduct one panel discussion with industry experts and senior editors and writers for this panel. Sir, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our eminent panelists of today's panel discussion on this topic. In fact, what is credibility? How can we get this credibility in journalism? Always, we used to teach about credibility. It is fact-based. It should have unbiased. It should have good sources, right sources, and that kind of basic information we discuss in our academics. But practically, what happened? In almost 140,000 registered publications in our country now. Almost 900 existed news entertainment channels, including 375 news channels we have in our country. And many more digital media and YouTube channels and other lakhs of Facebook accounts We have information explosion days these days. In this era, can we expect credibility? In past 300 years, we have been observing two important aspects in any media. One is audience attention. Second is advertisers rupee. Everybody in every channel or every newspaper or every journalist or every editor expects audience attention first thing. Advertisers rupee is second. In those days, after existing printing press, many changes we have experienced. And industrial revolution had given more chances, more opportunities for democratic values to spread in this society, in not only country, in the world. That equity, fraternity, and liberty, this kind of great values inculcated in our minds in global level. That was the reason for French Revolution. After that, different ideas explored in the French, Russian Revolution, and also in other revolutions like China Revolution and other revolutions. But negative side of credibility experienced first time in global side, Hitler's Goebbels publicity. How media can use for changing minds to build opinions among public. That is in global level, that was a big first level shock. After that also, many newspapers have existed. And after that, in our country also, national movement value system is there. In that value system also, some newspaper supports pro-independence. Some papers, Britishers also good. Even Hickey's Gazette in 1782, he used to write against British officers' corruption and other aspects of their loopholes. But what happened? Immediately, British officers started one pro-media. At the time also, credibility questions. In our nation, after nationality, in our own Telangana, we have experienced in 1946 to 50, one great Telangana armed struggle was there. In Telangana armed struggle days, some papers supports communist parties like Mizan, and Shoaib Khan supported some kind of great value system. And also Nizam pro newspapers also existed. After that also, we have experience in emergency time. Already in 1980s, slanting newspapers, how can we use slanting? Inadu and other newspapers have started that slanting technology. Means reader cannot understand what paper is going to say. What is paper inculcating that ideas? That slanting is not technology, but that kind of administration technique of followed by the management of some papers like Inadu. In 90s, liberalization, globalization, and this kind of many changes have occurred in the global level in the press. Last 20 years back, internet existed. Internet also opened many doors for independent journalists, citizen journalists. For great, now 2 years back, artificial intelligence. In 2014, Associated Press has started this using this artificial intelligence in newsrooms. Writers also started using this AI technology in their news agency. After that, also some first anchor artificial intelligence anchor they started in China news agency Geno. Like that, now AI is using everywhere. But our problem is, now we are facing big problem from artificial generated news content, artificial generated content. In fact, traditional generative content we used to write, and our elders thoroughly studied. They wrote some news articles and features and editorials after doing a lot of work on that area. They used to write. But what happened now? Data decides, data declares, data dictates nowadays. And also one more problem is now everywhere billionaires channels are existing and they are ruling. Billionaires channels means channel owners, they want influence or access to the helm of affairs people. Not, they don't have particular value system. They don't have particular seriousness about information giving and information explosion and information, that kind of system we are leading now. Not only billionaire channels, in political parties and political leaders nowadays starting channels, they are spreading their views, their popularity, that is only that media is useful for their own selfish motives. In this scenario, how can we develop credibility in journalism? When I was in school, printed word is final. There was no discussion about printed word. No, everybody says that that is a printing word. No dispute about that. You have to believe that. But if I ask same question to my son, immediately he will ask, please check another source also. That kind of situation is existing now. But finally, what I want to say is artificial generative content versus traditional news content. How to integrate those two? How to get good results to integrate two systems, two news items to develop credibility. Now I request all the panelists to focus on this area and give your opinions to present. This panel discussion is 1 hour. I request all panelists to give your presentation within 8 minutes, and we can ask questions from our audience. Then now I request Vanaja Garu to present views.
Hello, friends. That's why I actually start all my explainers in my video channel, Mahma Media. I think that's true here also because everyone here, most of them are my friends, are my gurus. Some gurus and mostly friends. So, good morning. I jumped the queue actually. I have all the seniors here. I don't know, Sushil, are you senior? Okay, see, all the seniors say I jumped the queue because I have cough. I don't know how much time I can hold. That's why I asked Srinivas, can you give me the first so that I can talk and leave? So he accepted and gave me the chance. So I came here. You might say, if you have cough, why don't you take cough syrup? But can we take cough syrup now? Because we have seen one cold reef scam, right? So there is one batch of cold reef syrup is adulterated, but the kind of scare is created that people are scared to drink any cold syrup now. So the next choice goes to herbal cold syrups, not synthetic ones. So when I went and checked, what are the herbal cold syrups, one thing came up is honey, something from Dabur. Then we all know, what is that? Honey dust. Then we all know Dabur honey is adulterated. So if you are making honey dust with your adulterated honey, can we believe that? So this is the kind of situation we are in now in the news arena also. Earlier, Keshwara Garu was saying that, this is good. AI creating fake news is good because it is creating doubt. No, I don't agree with that. Because I'm giving research facts here. MIT has conducted a research in which 80% of the WhatsApp forwards are unverified. And 70% people who read them believe them. So we only belong to the 30% who are doubting and verifying. But are we really doubting and verifying? Tell me really how many of you have seen one WhatsApp forward for so many years, I think for the last 10, 15 years, that if you have food left at your function, You can call 1098 so that they will come and pick, right? We have all seen it, but none of us verified it. I verified because I worked with 1098. I know it's fake. I try to put that, every time I see that, I say, no, this is fake, this is fake. But now this is fake has also become a joke. Every time I say something on my channel, somebody comes under that and say, this is fake. And that's it. No qualifier. They don't say anything. This is fake. So that's my responsibility to prove that it is not fake. See, it's not just created confusion. It created a lot of chaos. And we are living in that chaos. And we have seen, especially when there are elections and wars, we see how this, gets exaggerated. We have seen Operation Sindoor. We have seen all the AI images, all game videos, passed as war visuals. And people believed. And they are all fact-checked later. And people said, no, these are not right things. These are all fake. But according to research again, all these fake news gets 6 times fast, gets spread 6 times faster than the real news. See, they know it. That's why at the time of elections, they create so much fake news because that will reach 6 people. The verification reach only 1 person. So that means they want 5 people, right? They know this. Whoever creating fake news, they know this algorithm that goes faster. By the time, we all know, right, in Telugu, Nizam gadapa date lopala abaddam uranta tirigi vastundani. Exactly that is what is happening in the fake news industry. But I don't know how it is going to be checked because the state is not willing to check it. It doesn't want to because it is helping it. It is helping the state. It is helping the political parties. So they do not want to stop this. So they want to use it. Instead of stopping it, they want to use it. See, everyone is using it. When people need to counter it, they are also creating fake news. It used to be from some quarters earlier, now from every quarter. This has created oh my God. This has created complete unbelievability. Now, if you see anything, we are doubting everything, which is not good, We don't believe anything. Whatever is said now, we think, is it true? In the first place, is there a truth? We have all seen films like, Roshnara. We don't know whether truth exists at all or not. So that is what is helping the people who are creating fake news. Take, for example, 1098, it won't serve anyone. But, somebody wanted to spoil the system. 1098 is a beautiful system where, if a child is in danger, we can call. If there is child marriage is happening, you can call them. And, they will come to the rescue. They want to clog those lines. That person may not know that what he is spoiling by doing this, who started this. And so many people believed. When I posted that on the Facebook, one of the very senior journalists from Mumbai said, oh, is it? They won't pick up the food? People started believing it, because nobody checked, because it's not a problem at all. It's not a serious threat. And we are only looking at serious lies or serious fake news. But under that, so much misinformation is going on. Very interestingly, we always look at politics, when political news is created, fake news is created, we all jump and, correct. But there are 2 other sectors not really verified and checked. One is cinema, the other one is health. And after this TFI Kattubanisa thing has, become a fad, now they want to do anything to promote their heroes. So they have been creating these daily collection reports, DCRs. So they keep posting all these hyped up collections. If you see, because I also sometimes do explainers on films, when I want to do it, there is not a single verifiable source which gives us the real daily collection report. We don't know. For example, when I try to verify something, what are the collections of Harihara Veeramanlu? Because it's so much hype. Not a single verifiable source. But how can you verify them? And people may think, how does it make any difference? It makes a difference. There is one fandom universe is happening, which is actually a big universe. Lot of youth is being sucked into that. They are fighting wars. They are fighting those wars not only on social media, coming out and fighting those wars on the streets. So youth is engaging in this, creating fake news and fake narratives. We have a format, DCR format. They can give any numbers and ask AI to generate that format. So it looks completely authentic. You won't see that this is any different. And like health also, right? Take the example of cold reef. We all know cold reef, one batch of cold reef is adulterated. But now people started saying any cold syrup is dangerous. Maybe you may not believe because you are 30% only. The 70% of the people, of course, pure research was on rural Indians. I don't think urban Indians are any smarter than rural Indians in India. So I think it's the same person. Same. If it's 70, maybe it is 60. I don't think there will be any much difference between them. So only few people will check. But many people are scared. It is creating a lot of fear, confusion, and you don't believe anything. Creating doubt is good, but creating fear is not good. This AI is creating a lot of fear. We have seen in Operation Sindoor, in the elections, and now cold reef, and the other one is health. In this, we already have this confusion, but social media is accelerating it like anything, Social media is so much amplifying this whole thing that people stopped checking news. Now people are depending for news on social media. I'm sorry, there are people who are real making news in the mainstream media. Now people are believing social media more than mainstream news because it confirms their bias. When the fake news confirms their bias, that gets amplified. Mainstream news may not confirm their bias. Of course, it's not the case anymore. Earlier, it used to be, but now the mainstream media is also confirming the biases so much. So in this situation, what you can say, what you can do, that is the biggest question. I don't have the answer. I don't know what to do, seriously. Sudhakar has training and Sushil has training how to stop fake news. Yes, there are tools, but those tools only can debunk 1%, 1 out of 6. But 5 people will keep believing the fake news. So in this scenario, one and only thing you can do is keep saying facts and truth. Thank you.
In modern age, truth is only algorithms.
I know.
Gen Z doesn't like read newspapers.
Yeah.
They like to watch news, other social media. That is a major problem now.
No.
Thank you very much for your wonderful talk. Now I request Sushil Rao to present it. Due to paucity of time, we are not giving proper time to audience to ask questions. At the end, we will conduct the.
Did I take more than 8 minutes?
No, ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నారు కదా
తీసుకున్నాను.
చిన్న సత్యం చెప్పాలి.
రేట్ కట్ ఎక్కువ తీసుకున్నానా?
Sushil always.
నేను కూడా టైం సెట్ నాకు 1 minute ఉన్నాక చెప్పండి.
విసిరేస్తాను ఇది విసిరేస్తాను.
అకాడమిక్స్ తోటి ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటిదంటే వర్కింగ్ జర్నలిస్ట్ పిలుస్తారు తింటారు. ఓకే, మంచిగా పిలుస్తారు, పిలిచేటప్పుడు బాగా పిలుస్తారు, మంచిగా ఉంటది, మంచిగా రీసెర్చ్ చేసుకుంటారు, మంచిగా పంపిస్తారు. ఉన్నంతసేపు మటుకు తిట్టి పెడతారు మనల్ని. సో దేర్ ఇస్ అ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ వర్కింగ్ జర్నలిస్ట్ అండ్ అకాడమిక్స్. ఇంతకు ముందు ఉన్న జర్నలిస్టులు కూడా ఇప్పుడు టీచింగ్ ప్రొఫెషన్ ఉందే తిడతారు మనల్ని. బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ ప్రొఫెషన్ ఆఫ్ లిస్నింగ్ టు క్రిటిసిజం బికాస్ వీఆర్ అన్ ఇవాల్వింగ్ సొసైటీ. దే హ్యావ్ seen journalism and they've gone to another angle. So they're looking it from a different perspective. But we respect each other's perspective. 8 minutes ఉన్నదన్నారు. ఇగో ఇంత ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యి వచ్చిన.
నాకు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చు తెలియదబ్బా.
ఇంత ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యి నేను ఎవరైనా వద్దన్నారా నువ్వు అడిగి తెలియదు అంటే జర్నలిస్ట్ పని తెలుసుకోవాలా. ఓకే, this is what I've prepared, but I will quickly run through it so that you will have an idea about what exactly I would like to convey to you. Because of paucity of time, if I am not able to communicate everything, I will share this paper with you personally. Sarena, appudu na notes adagandi. Na number raskondi 98480 raskunnara 98480 25629. So in case you're interested in this paper, I would like to send this to you. Also, if anyone is interested in what was released in the morning, I will send those also to you. Just send me a message. I'll come straight to the point, and there will be no ambiguity. Each of you sitting here, or each of us here, whether you're a working journalist, whether you're a teaching professional, or whether you're a student, number one thing that you need to have is an assistant. How many of you have an assistant? Ante, I don't think all of us have assistants, but it is possible to have an AI assistant in this AI era. Now, how to build an AI assistant? Let me ask you, in case you know, does anyone here have an AI assistant?
Yes.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quite a few. So what we will do is, I'm offering my services to you on a voluntary basis, specifically to meet your need to build an AI assistant for yourself, so that, number one, it will help you in your work, whether it is your work or your personal life or any research work that you're doing. This AI assistant will help you. So today, tomorrow, or day after, whenever you would like me to guide you, get in touch with me. We will make an AI assistant that is very, very specific to your need. I would like to know, with a show of hands, if this appeals to anybody. వేరే వాళ్ళు కూడా చేతు నీకేమైంది తర్వాత అడగకపోతే పర్లేదు కానీ ఇంతగానో చెప్పినందుకన్నా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉండాలి కదా. ఓకే, a lot of people are interested. I am with you. I'm going to build an AI assistant for you. Now, why do I need to build an AI assistant for myself? I'm in journalism. We write reports, and I also have to present my credentials to you when I say that I use AI. ఇది కొంచెం బోస్టింగ్ అనిపిస్తుంది, తట్టుకోండి సరేనా. డోంట్ వరీ, నేను ఏమేమో చెప్పుకుంటుంటా అనేసి. I have an AI generalist certification from the Economic Times. All right. And I have done an introductory session on generative AI from Gen AI Academy. ఇంకా కావాలనా? అదే అంటారు, బాగుంది. I like it. Then generative AI mastermind course I did from Outskill India. I've done 4 courses, all right, courses ananu, but short courses from IIT Madras on AI itself, on different subjects. Apatlu kortunara, korta gatti kottandi. I have done a course on ethics of AI from the University of Helsinki. Inkemana cheppalna? Inta chalu for me to be able to qualify to speak about AI. We are talking about credibility of news in AI era. 25 years ago, oka 2 instances చెప్తా. టైం అయిపోతే చేయి చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే చెప్పండి, ఏం పర్వాలేదు. మా రిపోర్టర్ని ఒక ఆయన అడిగిన నేను, ఒక 5 స్టూడెంట్స్ తోటి మాట్లాడి యూ కమ్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ టెల్ మీ వాట్ దే ఆర్ టెలింగ్ అనేసి ధనాదం చేసిండు, పని తీసుకొచ్చేసిండు, టేబుల్ మీద పెట్టేసిండు 25 years ago. అరే భలే చేసినావన్న నేను చూసినాను. అంత చూసినాక ఐ టోల్డ్ హిమ్, this girl that you have quoted here does not study in this school, and this boy does not study in this school. 5 అదే చెప్పిన నేను. నాకెట్లా తెలుసు? ఏఐ కాదు, ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యూమన్ నాలెడ్జ్. ఈయన ఏం చేసినాడంటే అక్కడక్కడ పోయి ఒక 5 పేర్లు కనుక్కొని, ముఖ్యంగా పంతే 5 schools కనుక్కొని ఆ దానికి ఈ దానికి కనెక్ట్ చేసి మధ్యలో ఒక కోడ్ కూడా కుకప్ చేసేసి పెట్టేసి తెచ్చి ఇచ్చేసిండు. ఏంటిదంటే బాయ్స్ నేమ్ గర్ల్స్ కాలేజ్ స్కూల్స్ కి పెట్టిండు, గర్ల్స్ ది బాయ్స్ కి పెట్టేసిండు. సో అక్కడ నాకు తెలుసు కాబట్టి, బికాస్ ఐ హ్యావ్ నాలెడ్జ్, ఐ కుడ్ డిటెక్ట్ ఇట్. బట్ వాట్ ఇఫ్ దేర్ వాస్ సంబడీ హూ డిడ్ంట్ నో అబౌట్ దిస్ రిపోర్ట్ వుడ్ హావ్ గాట్ పబ్లిష్డ్ లైక్ దట్. సరే, ఇంకొక ఆయనది చాలా సీనియర్ మ్యాన్, ఆయనకు ఫీచర్ రిచ్ రైటింగ్ అంటే చాలా ఇష్టం ఉంటుండే. ఎలక్షన్స్ అప్పుడు జబర్దస్త్ రిపోర్ట్ రాసిండు, సుశీల్ ఇది ఎట్లా చూడమన్నాడు. నాకు కూడా అలాంటి రిపోర్ట్ ఇంట్రెస్టే. నేను చెప్పినాను, సార్ ఇది ఈ మనిషి నువ్వు చెప్తున్న మనిషి ఈ ఏరియాలో ఉండడన్న. నేను అరే నీకెట్ నాట్ హౌ ఆర్ యు ఏబుల్ టు సో డైరెక్ట్లీ సే దట్ దిస్ పర్సన్ డస్ నాట్ లివ్ ఇన్ ఒంగోల్ ఆర్ దిస్ పర్సన్ డస్ నాట్ లివ్ ఇన్ సమ్వేర్. ఓకే, నేను అక్కడ ఉండడన్న. నేను అట్లా ఎట్లా అంటున్నావు అంటున్నాడు. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన పక్క మన దగ్గర లోకల్ గా ఉన్న పేరు తీసుకుపోయి ఒక ఆంధ్ర రీజన్ లో పేరు పెట్టేసిండు. ఓకే, దానికి దీనికి లింక్ లేదు. వాట్ హీ డిడ్ వాస్ హీ లైక్డ్ a description of the place, he liked the quote that he wanted to give, except that he cooked up everything because he wanted it to be read well. దానికి పేరు ఇక్కడిది పెట్టేసింది, ఎందుకంటే పేరు ఇక్కడ అనేది తెలుసు కాబట్టి. సో a human being, a human now has more responsibility in tackling AI because it hallucinates. ఇప్పుడు మనుషులనే నమ్మనప్పుడు ఏఐని ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళి నమ్ముతాము? మొన్న ఎన్సిఆర్బి డేటా రిలీజ్ చేసిండ్రు. I mainly use 5 or 6 different types of AI to do my research or understanding or to explore. I do not own any of these, but I suggest that you explore all these. సరేనా? వీటి పేర్లు స్టూడెంట్స్ వెనుకున్నారు కదా, మీరు రాసుకోండి, నేను చెప్తా. ఇది చాట్ జీపీటీ అయితే ఎలా యూజ్ చేస్తాము. And I use Gemini also. I use Microsoft Copilot also. I use Meta. I use Perplexity. I use Grok. I use Claude. Mon NCRB data ne em chesinante, I asked each of the LLMs, that is the large language models, one same question. What are the incidents of crimes against women in Telangana and AP? Ichnaru. Then I asked another specific question. ఎందుకంటే మన దగ్గర ఈ డిజిటల్ అరెస్ట్ ఎక్కువ అవుతుంటాయి కదా, పీపుల్ ఆర్ లూజింగ్ crores rupees. I asked all the LLMs the very same question. అది వేసుకో, మన నీళ్ళు తాగు. I asked all the LLMs one question. How many digital arrests have happened, cases have happened in the entire country in according to the latest report, NCRB report? అయితే అన్ని LLMs కంటే నాకు on one particular thing I have more trust, confidence, because the way I use it, one of them దాని మీద కొంచెం ఎక్కువ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ నాకు. So 6 of them said there is no data. మనకు తెలిసి ఇవన్నీ కేసెస్ అవుతున్నాయి అనేసి. Then 7th దానికి వచ్చేసరికి on which I trust more, it said it gave me a certain number of cases for 2024. It gave me a certain number of cases in 2025. It gave me some figures also. నేను దాన్ని పట్టుకొని అడిగినాను, డైరెక్ట్ అడిగిన తెలుసా, భయపడలే నేను వెళ్ళేందుకు. ఇగో 6 ఒక మాట చెప్తున్నారు, నువ్వేమో ఇంకొక ఫిగర్ ఇస్తున్నావు, అసలు నీ సంగతి ఏంటిదని అడిగిన నేను. ఇది నువ్వు చెప్పేది కరెక్టా కాదా? యాక్చువల్లీ నేను ఇట్లనే మాట్లాడుతుంటుంది వాటితోటి ఎవ్రీడే కూడా. సో సమ్ టైమ్స్ మై వైఫ్ కమ్స్ అండ్ లిసన్స్, నేను ఎవరితోటి మాట్లాడుతున్నా అనేసి. ఓకే, సో ది ఆన్సర్ దట్ LLM gave me was, You are correct. And I apologize for the misleading response. Thank you for catching this important distinction. I should have been clearer that I was mixing NCRB data with other reports.
Sushil Garu, please conclude.
అవునా కాంతో గేమ్స్ ఆడుతున్నారండి మీరు సరే
Sorry.
So no, that is fine. Time. No, I've actually come to the last page. So this is what LLMs do. They make mistakes. If you say you have done a wrong thing, they will apologize. But to make them apologize, you should know better than them. So gain more knowledge so that you can make use of them as assistants and not completely depend on them. అందుకొరకే నేను ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్కి వచ్చిన నేను when you build your AI assistant, you will bring all the knowledge that you require to retrieve from into your own assistant and depend on it completely instead of allowing a horse to go and run on its own way without somebody holding its reins. And now I await your applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Once upon a time, seeing is believing, but not now. Seeing is not believing.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, me paper మేము we are going to publish complete paper, sir.
Okay.
మీ పేపర్స్ అన్ని తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ తో చూపించి మంచి బుక్ వేస్ చేయడానికి ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నాము. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్.
Lecture is also being recorded.
We are recording the lecture, madam, and we are recording. Our request to Masudhir garu to present this.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Lunchtime already. We're running, I think, beyond time. But just to give you the broader picture of what is happening in the field of AI, like Vanuja said, what Keshav Rao Garu said may have been true a few years ago when we talk about technology as something that is aiding us and helping us in many situations. But right now we are in a place where it is going to threaten us in more ways than one. And that is why I must tell you about the bigger trends in journalism before we get into anything else. Big trends in journalism is that, like has been said, that new interest in news is going down. The consumption of news is going down drastically. People are consuming news through social media. More than 50%, 60% consume everything through the social media. And all that is going through aggregator traffic. And therefore, it'll be the sensational news. It is the most news that goes viral that is going to be read by your Gen X. The average news or the average age of a person who is subscribing even to a legacy website channel, not buying, forget buying newspapers and reading them, is about 56 years old, about my age. So younger people are not going to pay for news. They're not going to go to the legacy newspapers and or TV channels for that matter. All that is పాత జనరేషన్ అయిపోయింది. అక్కడికి ఎవరు వెళ్ళట్లేదు, దాన్ని చూడట్లేదు, దాని కన్సంప్షన్ అయిపోయింది. బట్ వేర్ ఇస్ ద న్యూస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్? బికాస్ ఈవెన్ న్యూస్ sites like the Times of India, which of course is one of the biggest brands that we have, or the Economic Times or on NDTV, many of them are generating a lot of news that is synthetic news. We are aggregating news from there and putting out news stories, and because the traffic and revenue was seen to be coming from something like that, ఒక్కొక్క న్యూస్ సైట్ లో ఇట్లా 1500 స్టోరీస్ జనరేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారనమాట. రీసెంట్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఒకటి ఫేమస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాలి, వేర్ ది ఎకనామిక్ టైమ్స్, let's not come to the Economic Times. Before that, I'll come to some other incident that happened in the US. New York City lo, there is some kind of a shooting that happened there. And train lo, ekkado near the station, there's a shooting incident that's happened. A lot of tension in that area. అని అక్కడ న్యూయార్క్ సిటీ టైమ్స్, న్యూయార్క్ టైమ్స్, న్యూయార్క్ సిటీ, ది CNN న్యూస్ అందరూ అక్కడ వెరిఫై చేస్తున్నారు. ఎక్స్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ క్రేజీ అబౌట్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ టెన్షన్ దట్ ఇస్ దేర్ బికాస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ కమ్యూటింగ్ అండ్ గోయింగ్ బ్యాక్ హోమ్. And the first story that comes out on any respectable news site is Hindustan Times, which is headquartered in Delhi and has no reporter there and does not is not quoting any NYPD source, as in police department source. It is not quoting any mass shooting expert who can give you a subject view on what is happening. But the first story that comes out is one very enthusiastic news, obviously youngster, who is expected to produce news at a speed that cannot be matched by any journalist, which is what happens to all of us also under pressure. Which, let me tell you, I also generate about 60, 80, 100 news stories every month, which logically speaking, original stories, it is not possible to generate if you're really doing all the source verification and going beyond what is already there on different media. Why is one newspaper sitting here have to be first with the story that is of New York shooting, even before those stories are doing anything there? Because they just put it together, you tell the prompt, and it will write your story and you put it out. There's one more incident. All of us saw this very viral video of the CEO of an organization who at a Coldplay concert was holding a very nicely embracing the HR head of the same company, and his wife saw that and he faced the consequences for that. But the fact is, again, a very reputed newspaper from our thing. I'm not saying NDTV doesn't do it. All newspapers are equally guilty because of the use of AI without human oversight and Tangada. That is something so important. That story about this CEO who you all know about, he was seen embracing an the chief HR executive office, and that went viral because it was a Coldplay concert, and the camera person decided to zero in on that shot. And then subsequently, this story was put out on Economic Times, where they say that this guy has apologized for what has happened, and then except that he never apologized. That is one thing. That is one thing, that he never apologized, and then they had to put out an apology saying that he has not apologized. There is another instance I must point out where Trump these days makes the most news everywhere. And one day there was a story about Trump releasing an AI video of Barack Obama getting arrested and being sent to jail. And he, of course, this is a fantastic news for anyone because it's an AI video that you're doing of Barack Obama being arrested and Trump releasing an AI video. He's seen as an expert in whatever the fake news and that news. Except that this entire story that was put out spoke about this AI video generated, a story that was generated by AI and about a fake AI video that Trump had released. And then along with that was a quote from a person who is a disinformation expert in the Joe Biden industry, Nina Jankowicz or something is her name. And she was quoted as saying that this is something, I must quote it because I did write it down for my own wanting to tell you what it was, that it was a very, very credible sounding story that was done to say that, okay, Nina Jankowicz. So this deepfake is political disinformation at its worst. The former head of Joe Biden's Disinformation Governance Board said it erodes public trust, damages reputation, and poses serious threat to democratic stability. Very credible sounding quote from a disinformation expert, except she happened to see her name going online and pointed out that she had never given such a quote to Economic Times. When you ask AI to generate stuff and ask it to give you a credible thing, telling you follow the SEO and follow the give me quotes also from credible sources, it can make up its own quotes. Right now, I think you call me a poet as well. I'm never defined as a poet. I'm defined as an author, documentary filmmaker, everything. That also it made up. Sometimes it tells me that I got the best awards in the world, and the American awards, CNN award, BBC award, some places. That is how AI tends to make up stuff that we don't intend it to make up. But we are seeing all this in the paradigm in a situation where the value, the news consumption is going down, interest in news is going down, people are consuming it through social media sources. And the fourth important thing is that the revenue that is supposed to come to any of you, any of the original sites, sir is going to be starting a digital website. But I'm saying now the right traffic is not coming directly to the website because you go to an aggregator and everybody gets from the aggregator. ChatGPT something that some exclusive tracker or sushi broker, and you ask it and just give you whatever aggregation, and I don't go to the Times of India site to see it. I will get everything there. Whatever else somebody else may have added to the story as well. So even the revenue there is dropping. But even in this situation, all the news organizations, which we have been saying about decline, when social media came, we thought it is a thing that is going to democratize the space and the cost would come down, and therefore we will be able to get more diverse opinion and voices onto the public domain. Adi kaledu. Emaindante, that space was also taken over by different vested interests who are using it in their own manner. Now comes AI. I think that is where there is no running away from AI. That is something that all of us will have to integrate into our lives. But the biggest crisis tomorrow is going to be not that people are believing the fake news that is coming, deep fakes that are coming everywhere and are very, very, very believable. It is not, that is not the crisis. Today's crisis and tomorrow's crisis more is going to be that even when you tell the truth, nobody will believe you. Yeah. The crisis of credibility is going to be the biggest crisis, not just in journalism, but in the world. In our generation, we have seen traditional journalism, and therefore we think, okay, some are credible sources, some are not credible sources. Tomorrow's generation, I'm telling you, they will be very, very confused. They would not know where is the truth and where is not the truth. Varija spoke about the cold cough. Everywhere it's promotionals and news. There is no distinguishing line. At one point in time, when we used to work for newspapers, they used to say, this is advertisement, and if you work for it, you will be separate money for it. This is something else. But now there is no distinction between the two, and therefore the danger. But I'm telling you that the answer is also going to come in AI, because AI can help you rationalize many things. It can help you do all the grunt work. It can help you make the same story that is meant for a science story, for instance, which an adult can read, understanding it. It can make it simplify for a 15-year-old. It can make it simplified for a 6-year-old. Somebody who doesn't have time for 5 minutes, you can read it. For 20 minutes, you can read it. It can help you do all that without something that will take 15 hours to do, or you will work for a very, very long time on the same thing. So AI can give you the solutions as well. But AI can also create all these problems that I spoke to you about. And therefore, when Professor Murthy in the morning was talking about credibility being lost and people not wanting to be in journalism, Generation Next, he gave examples of how Generation Next, that's also because journalism, if many of these students are wanting to take up journalism, Forbes magazine and many other magazines, whenever they have done career studies, they have said that it is one of the worst professions in the world. It comes right at the bottom, and television reporter is even lower than newspaper reporter, because the conditions of work, the kind of money that you're paid for it, the deadlines, and the kind of brickbats that you will get for every single story that you do. Somebody will not like it, and therefore you will get brickbats, and that accusation that meer cheppindi fake andi. And social media lo rayadaniki em time pattadu kada, ante వీళ్ళు ఫేక్, వీళ్ళు పేటిఎం జర్నలిస్ట్, వీళ్ళు ఇక్కడ తీసుకున్నారు, అక్కడ తీసుకున్నారు, వాట్ ఎవర్, ఆల్ దట్ you will have to face while you're there. But I'm saying the future for many of the new organizations are also going to come from being able to reduce the cost on technology and resources if you're going to use intelligently. And that is why I think it is a fact that in the era of AI, credibility is a big factor. But I'm saying even without AI, because of the many things that are happening, ownership patterns and the content that we are using in the newspapers, credibility is hugely going down. And therefore, AI could provide some of those answers. And establishments like the BBC or like NDTV, they're all coming out with policies about what you will use AI for and what you will not use AI for. And that is something that children also need to understand. What Sushil was talking about, ChatGPT andaram use chestamu, Gemini use chestamu, Perplexity use chestamu, Copilot use chestamu ani. Kani what we end up doing is, because the human mind is such that ఏమైనా easy option ఉంటే, ఇప్పుడు the same chutney, if you want to make in a mixie, it's easier. దాంతో రుబ్బితే అంత టైం పడుతుంది, కానీ టేస్ట్ దానిలోనే వస్తుంది. సమ్ హౌసెస్ తెలిసే అదే బాగుంటుందండి, మీరు అట్లా చేయండి అంటారు, మనకి టైం ఉండదు, కాబట్టి యూ విల్ గో ఫర్ ద మిక్సీ. సో సిమిలర్లీ ఫర్ న్యూస్ స్టోరీ, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ గివింగ్ రెడీమేడ్, no person in this world. We also teach, me and my husband teach on some channel, and we know when children are giving everything out of ChatGPT and presenting you great things, any teacher can make out by this time how the language is, certain keywords that they will use, you can make out ChatGPT language and everything else. I'm not saying do not use ChatGPT or do not use any of these generative AI tools. What I'm saying is, it is foolish on your part to leave what you're supposed to do, your originality. Everybody can produce ChatGPT articles, have no doubt about it. Even if you feel that your standard is low, use your original ideas there. Use that as a prompt in order to increase your creativity, challenge your own thinking. In some of these tools, it asks you, isn't it? Do you want this, or do you want this, or do you want this? It'll keep asking you in different versions. I'm saying use your originality there and your mark of originality, because in the coming generations, for you to be journalist or in any other profession, it is that your, I know the time is running out, clock is running out. That is what is going to be your distinguisher, whoever it is. I mean, now social media tells you that if you are, whatever, 34, 24, 26, whatever, and 36, you're perfect. No, it is not. Whoever you are is perfect. Own it and utilize that to do something bigger than what it is. We have seen some very popular stand-up comedy women who are of a size which is not be considered as very flattering by the so-called definition. What they have done is I'm not saying define themselves by their physical thing. I'm saying define yourself by who you are and utilize what is best in that. In the credibility space, in the news space, in the newsroom, I'm telling you, AI tools are coming in, and all of you, if you want to be in journalism also, please alongside learn AI tools. That is going to be the biggest jobs that you're going to get in journalism. Jobs are over otherwise. Everywhere jobs are being removed. There are news channels and TV channels and media organizations that are working simply using AI. They don't need people. They don't need people. So don't think that there is a future in journalism the way it used to be there. No. But if you're going to combine it with other tools and be able to use efficiently, how news processes can be made more efficient, production can be made more efficient, that is where your jobs are going to be. One last sentence, what we are doing in the news space as well, as in a policy, I think all organizations will start having it, because otherwise trust is the biggest thing. NDTV, we used to say trust is the one word that we used to use for any news organization for that matter. Credibility and trust, that is the only thing that distinguishes us from hundreds of other digital places. I think people who build your individual brands, you all have your own social media accounts, Facebook accounts. Facebook, if it is passe, you must be using more Instagram undachu, emaina undachu. Nothing wrong with using comedy. Sir in the morning said news is coming as comedy. That's also a genre in which you can tell news, and it's a very beautiful way in which you can engage. And therefore, if you have that comical thing to be able to tell, that also, of course, is coming under the scanner of the governments, and they don't allow comics to do their stuff. But I'm saying that is also a very beautiful genre. Whatever it is, own it, be original, use these tools for other things. In all news organizations, they are going to be using people who know AI. All of us keep hearing, no, AI doesn't take away your jobs. People who don't know AI is the one who lose jobs. And very commonly people say that is true for journalism as well. So that you can up your act and change. And more importantly, don't look to work for these organizations. Now technology allows you to have your own little media things. Even if you're in niche areas, you can generate your revenue. And therefore, please look for that original kind of a media content creation and putting out. That is the biggest industry. Huge money is riding on it. People will consume it, but build it on 3-4 things: ethics, credibility, trust. If you do all these 3 things, then you are set. And therefore, you don't use any of your platforms flippantly, meaninglessly for useless things. I'm saying use it to build your brand. It's allowing you to create your own brands. And the big advantage that brands like a Times of India or an Economic Times is that they already have the brand. I'm concluding now. With television journalists, one, Tamilians don't have full stops, and second, television journalists don't stop. So the thing is, so therefore, build your brand. And I'm saying all these organizations which already have a brand, Vanaja is a brand. What she does is a brand. So there, she can use that brand in order to say that this is trustworthy, therefore come here. And therefore, build your individual brand and go with that. And that is where your future is going to be, because while content is there, while creativity is there, originality is there, the people on this panel, Sudhakar is there, his professor is there, all of who have been teachers of journalism in multiple platforms. I'm saying they are the ones who show you which way journalism is moving, and therefore follow these people's acts also. I mean, how they are functioning, how they are on different platforms, what they are doing there, and how they are creeping their credibility even in this age of crisis of credibility. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vidya. In fact, knowledge about AI tools is very much important, but at the same time, awareness of fact checking tools also very much important.
Fact checking is very much part of the AI basket.
That is also very important. It's just we should keep some information regarding that also. Now I request Srinivas to present his views on credibility of news in AI.
First, I try to share few things from the Telugu media perspective. AI usage in Telugu media is very limited. I don't think any news organization in Telugu, at least in print medium, are spending money on subscription to AI tools. Only journalists individually subscribe to AI tools, but organizations are not subscribing to them. Maybe in Inadu, they may be having. Regarding credibility, anyway, Telugu media has very low credibility. So, irrespective of AI or not AI, the fake news or false news or slanted news are rampant. So in some report in 2025, the report mentioned that the global trust in news is declining. It comes down to 35%. So the overall people are not trusting any news. And readership of news is also very low. Only 13 to 14% people are reading news or watching news. People consuming content of infotainment and all other non-news things. So, okay, example చెప్తాను తెలుగు సంబంధించి ఈ మధ్య recently I tried to when I was writing a column on social composition of Telangana ministry. So I tried to get historical information about social composition of Telangana Assembly and various representation of various castes and etc. First, I stopped using Google, and sometimes I use Chrome, but mostly I use ChatGPT or Perplexity. So first I tried it on Chrome. So Chrome gives results. The first result is from AI format, concise. It did not give proper information. They don't have historical information. Then I asked ChatGPT. It gave a list. I asked it to give a list. Mentioned Zupali Krishnarao as Reddy and Bhatti Vikramarka as Kamma. So ChatGPT, AI tools make out things, you know it, but they have hallucinations also. Why they? What is the source of their assumption that Damodar Raja belongs to Velama? So how could that come to that conclusion? I don't know. But no AI tool gave correct information, accurate information of 15-member Telangana ministry's social composition. You may get better results when you ask in English. AI tools they are not trained on Telugu data. They don't have enough data to process the needed prompted information. So that Telugu print media people are not using AI tools. They are using AI tools only to write national, international items. First, they summarize, they get the information from the AI tools and they go through it, and then again they ask to summarize it briefly, and then they try to translate that summarized brief result. So, except regarding video content and all that, Telugu news channels are not using any that kind of altered reality videos. They only present the videos to say that deepfake content is like this only. కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళు ఏఐలో టూల్స్ వచ్చినాయి, చాలా thumbnails చేయొచ్చు, thumbnails ఆటోమేటిక్గా చేయొచ్చు. మామూలుగా thumbnails మీద చేయడానికి ఒక పూట పడుతుంది ఒక్కొక్క thumbnail చేయడానికి, కానీ ఒకే రోజు 10-15 thumbnails కూడా చేసే ఏఐ టూల్స్ వచ్చినాయి, కానీ తెలుగులో లేదు. తెలుగు ఒక రకంగా అది రక్షణ లాగా ఉందనుకోవచ్చు మొత్తానికి. బహుశా తెలుగుకు ఏఐకి పూర్తిగా సమన్వయం కుదరడానికి ఇంకా 3-4 సంవత్సరాలు పట్టొచ్చు. లేదంటే మీరు సొంతంగా కూర్చొని ChatGPT ట్రైన్ చేశారు మీ అకౌంట్లో, మీరు ఒక ప్రో సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్ తీసుకొని యూ కీప్ ఆన్ ట్రైనింగ్ ద ChatGPT ఆన్ యువర్ అకౌంట్, దెన్ ఇట్ మే లెర్న్ యువర్ స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ రైటింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ గుడ్ స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ రైటింగ్ అండ్ యాక్యురేట్ తెలుగు ఇన్ యువర్ స్టైల్, then you may get ChatGPT in good Telugu. కాబట్టి తెలుగుకు ఈ డెఫిషియన్సీ అనేది ఉంది, బహుశా అన్ని రీజనల్ లాంగ్వేజ్కి అన్ని లాంగ్వేజ్ కూడా ఉంది. కాబట్టి ఫేక్ న్యూస్ అనేది వచ్చింది అంటే ఏఐతో సంబంధం లేకుండా ఉంది. ఇంగ్లీష్లో వస్తే దాన్ని తెలుగులో మా వాళ్ళు పత్రికలో ఉన్నవాళ్ళు దాన్ని ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేస్తారు తప్ప ప్రత్యేకంగా వీళ్ళు ఫేక్ న్యూస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం కానీ దానికి విక్టిమ్స్ డైరెక్ట్గా విక్టిమ్స్ కావడం కానీ తెలుగు మీడియాలో మనకు ఉండదు. కాబట్టి అయితే ఏఐ టూల్స్ మనకు అవసరమా లేదా, తెలుగుకైనా అవసరం అంటే తెలుగులో పనిచేసే జర్నలిస్టులకు కూడా వాళ్ళకి నాలెడ్జ్ కావాలి కాబట్టి, వాళ్ళకి అవసరం కాబట్టి ఈ టూల్స్ తప్పనిసరిగా వాడాలి. నాకు వ్యక్తిగతంగా నాకు ఏఐ టూల్స్లో ఇచ్చిన ఉపయోగం ఏంటంటే ఇట్ గివ్స్ కంటెంట్ ఇన్ ఏ స్ట్రక్చర్. ఆ స్ట్రక్చర్ చేసుకోవడం మనకు చాలా కష్టం. ఒక విషయాన్ని అది స్ట్రక్చర్ చేసేస్తుంది. మన దగ్గర కంటెంట్ ఉంటే ఆ కంటెంట్ దానికి ఇస్తే స్ట్రక్చర్ చేసేస్తుంది. అది చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉపయోగం అనుకుంటా. ఇంకోటి ప్రీ ఏఐ రెజీమ్లో ఏదైనా విషయం గురించి మీరు రీసెర్చ్ చేయాలంటే చాలా టైం పట్టేది, ఇది చాలా తక్కువ సమయంలో వస్తుంది. దాంట్లో సోర్సెస్ ఇచ్చే ఏఐ టూల్స్ బెటర్గా ఉంటాయి. పర్ప్లెక్సిటీ లాంటివి ప్రతి లైన్కు దాదాపుగా అది ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకుందో సోర్స్ ఇస్తుంది, మీరు కావాలంటే క్రాస్ చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అంత జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకుంటే దానివల్ల ఉపయోగం ఉంది. అది ఏఐ స్వయంగా అబద్ధాన్ని ప్రమోట్ చేస్తుంది, ఏఐ స్వయంగా హానికరం అనేది టెక్నాలజీ మీద మనకు ఉండేటువంటి ఒక భయం సహజంగానే. ప్రతి కొత్త టెక్నాలజీ వచ్చినప్పుడు, కంప్యూటర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఇవన్నీ వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఎట్లాగే ఇంటర్నెట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఎటువంటి భయాలు ఉన్నాయో ఆ భయాలతో మాట్లాడుతున్నారు తప్ప దాంట్లో సొంతంగా అబద్ధాన్ని అది ఇట్ ఎన్హాన్సెస్ ఫేక్ న్యూస్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఎన్హాన్సెస్ ట్రూత్ ఆల్సో. మంచి విషయాన్ని బలంగా చెప్పడానికి కూడా, మంచి విషయాన్ని గట్టిగా చెప్పడానికి కూడా ఏఐ పనికి వస్తుంది. అట్లాగే ఇది ఎనేబులర్ ఆల్సో. అయితే ఏఐకి ఎప్పుడు సాధ్యం కానిది ఏంటంటే అది దాని హ్యూమన్ కంపాషన్, హ్యూమన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ని ఇస్ ట్రాన్స్లేటింగ్ ఇంటూ మీనింగ్, ట్రాన్స్లేటింగ్ ఇంటూ అన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్గా చేయడం అనేది ఏఐకి సాధ్యపడదు. అది మనిషికి సంబంధించిన లక్షణాలని, ఆ కోర్ లక్షణాలని మనం కాపాడుకుంటే ఏఐని మన చేతిలో ఉంచుకోవచ్చు. దాని చేతిలో మనం వెళ్ళడం కాకుండా క్రెడిబిలిటీ, జర్నలిజం యొక్క క్రెడిబిలిటీ, న్యూస్ క్రెడిబిలిటీ పెంచుకోవడానికి ఏం చేయాలి అనేది ఏఐకి వెలుపలనే ఎక్కువ ఉందని అనుకుంటున్నాం. ఏఐ ద్వారా చేసేది, ఏఐలో కొన్ని ఏఐ ద్వారా వచ్చే ఫేకింగ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ ఫేకింగ్కి మనకు టూల్స్ ఉంటాయి. దాన్ని అట్లాగే ఏఐని ప్లేగరైజ్ చేయడానికి, కంటెంట్ కాపీ చేయడానికి, సొంతంగా రాయకుండా ఉండటానికి, అట్లా వాడకుండా ఉండటానికి కూడా టూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. కానీ అవి మన ఇంటిగ్రిటీ, మన జర్నలిస్టులుగా మనం ఇంటిగ్రిటీ ద్వారానే ఏఐని ఎట్లా ఎథికల్గా యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అనేది ఆలోచించవచ్చు. అట్లాగే ఇప్పుడు డిజిటల్ జర్నలిజంలోకి వచ్చేసరికి, డిజిటల్ జర్నలిజంలో ఏఐ వాడకం ఎంత ఉంటుందని మళ్ళీ అగైన్ డిజిటల్ జర్నలిజంలో అయినా కూడా తెలుగుకు సంబంధించి ఆ లిమిటేషన్, వర్నాక్యులర్ లాంగ్వేజ్ సంబంధించి అది లిమిటేషన్ ఉంది. ఇవాళ అనేక ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్లో ఒకటే కంటెంట్ అని మనం పంపించగలమా? ఇంగ్లీష్లో రాస్తుంది, అది ప్రింట్కి రాస్తుంది, వెబ్సైట్కి రాస్తుంది, షార్ట్ న్యూస్కి రాస్తుంది, ఇంకో రకంగా ఒకటే స్టోరీని రకరకాలుగా చెప్తుంది, ఈవెన్ వీడియో స్క్రిప్ట్ కూడా రాస్తుంది. కానీ తెలుగులో అట్లా రాసే శక్తి దానికి ఇంకా లేదు. కాబట్టి ఇంటికి తోడు ఇంకొక సహజంగా ఉండే ఒక బ్యాక్వర్డ్నెస్ ఏంటంటే తెలుగు మీడియంలో వాళ్ళ జర్నలిస్ట్ కమ్యూనిటీలోనే ఆ మైగ్రేషన్ స్పిరిట్ లేదు. ఇప్పటికి కూడా తెలుగు టీవీ న్యూస్ ఛానల్స్లో ప్రింట్ పద్ధతిలో రాసుకొని మాత్రమే చదువుతారు. మీరు ఏదైనా న్యూస్ పేపర్లో వచ్చిన కాలం చదవటం అనేది టీవీ ఛానల్లో అనేది మీరు ఆశ్చర్యం కదా. అది అంటే కానీ దానికి వ్యూయర్స్ ఉన్నారు, అది వేరే విషయం. కానీ అదొక శీర్షికగా, అదొక పద్ధతిగా వస్తుందంటే అక్కడ రాసేవాళ్ళు కూడా రాసే భాషకి మాట్లాడే భాషకి తేడా ఉంటుంది. రెండరింగ్ ఈజ్ సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్, స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ ఈజ్ సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ అనే అవగాహన తెలుగులో టీవీ జర్నలిస్టులో కానీ, అంటే పెద్ద సంస్థల్లో పనిచేసే టీవీ జర్నలిస్టులో కానీ లేదు. అట్లాగే ఫీచర్ రైటింగ్కి, న్యూస్ రైటింగ్కి ఏం తేడా ఉంటుందని ప్రింట్ జర్నలిస్టులకు చాలా మందికి తెలియదు. కాబట్టి ఈ కొత్త విషయానికి, కొత్తగా వస్తున్న మార్పులకి, చేంజ్కి రెస్పాండ్ కావడం, చేంజ్ తీసుకోవడం అనేది తెలుగు జర్నలిస్టులోనే చాలా పరిమితం ఉంది. కాబట్టి ఈ ఆధునికమైన టూల్స్ని వాడటంలో యాజమాన్యాలు ఎంకరేజ్ చేయవు, బికాజ్ దానికి ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయాలి. కాబట్టి వీళ్ళు కూడా నేర్చుకోకున్నాం. కాబట్టి ఈ వెనుకబడతనం కొంతవరకు, ఒక 4-5 సంవత్సరాల వరకు మనకు ఒక ఇమ్యూనిటీ ఇస్తుంది తెలుగు జర్నలిజానికి. తెలుగు జర్నలిజం దాని సొంత కారణాల రీత్యా క్రెడిబిలిటీ లేకుండా కొత్త వైరల్ జర్నలిజంగా మారిపోతుంది, అది వేరే విషయం. కానీ ఏ కారణంగా వచ్చే అవలక్షణాలు ఇంకా మన అనుభవంలోకి రావడానికి తెలుగులో చాలా టైం ఉంది. ఈ లోపల నేను అనుకోవటం తక్కిన ఇంగ్లీష్, ఇంటర్నేషనల్, నేషనల్ జర్నలిజం ఏ అనుభవాల నుంచి దానికి ఎట్లా యాంటీడోట్స్ కనిపెట్టాలి ఈ లోపల సిద్ధపడతారు. కాబట్టి అప్పుడు తెలుగు వచ్చే టైంకి, తెలుగు కమ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏజ్, అప్పుడు ఈ యాంటీడోట్స్ తెలుగు కూడా అందుబాటులో ఉంటాయని అనుకుంటున్నాం. తెలుగు ఏ పట్ల వ్యతిరేకత కానీ, అయిష్టత కానీ ఉండకూడదు. దాంట్లో సమస్యలు ఉన్నాయి, దానికి మనం అడాప్ట్ కావాలి. దాని సమస్యల నుంచి ఎట్లా నిరోధించుకోవాలో చూడాలి. మన అవిశ్వసనీయతకి, మనకి మీడియంకి వచ్చే చెడ్డ పేరుకి ఏఐకి డైరెక్ట్గా సంబంధం ఏం లేదు. మంచికి ఎట్లా హెల్ప్ చేస్తుందో ఏఐ చెడుకు కూడా హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. ఈ అవగాహన ఉంటే మనం నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ పెట్టడానికి అవకాశం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you very much. Credibility is the soul of journalism. Without honesty, fairness, and transparency, journalism cannot survive. But problem is always a panelist, most of the panelists opine that the negative side of the AI. But in traditional content generation, it has also many problems. Personal bias is a big problem. In every journalist, this is a diverse country. There are many religions, many castes, many opinions, and many kind of opinions we have. But as a journalist, we cannot overcome our personal bias while writing. That is also a major problem. But while writing through AI tools, we can overcome that problem. Personal bias, that issue we can overcome from these AI tools. Of course, కొన్ని సమస్యలు మనం తెలుగు జర్నలిజంలో సార్ చెప్పినట్టు క్రెడిబిలిటీ అనేది రోజు రోజుకు మనం కోల్పోతా ఉన్నాం. ఎందుకు కోల్పోతున్నాం అనడానికి AI టూల్స్ కారణం కాదు. దానికి చాలా కారణాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఆర్థిక కారణాలు, సామాజిక కారణాలు, సాంస్కృతిక కారణాలు, కులము, మతము, రాజ్యము, ప్రాంతము, చాలా రకాల కారణాలతోటి మనం క్రెడిబిలిటీ కోల్పోతున్నాం. అన్నిటికన్నా ముఖ్యమైన కారణం స్వార్థం, ఒక కన్జ్యూమర్ సొసైటీ, వినియోగదారి తత్వం. మనలో వస్తున్న ఆఫ్టర్ ఎల్పిజి మన లైఫ్ స్టైల్స్లో వచ్చిన చేంజెస్, మన ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్లో వచ్చిన మార్పులు, అవన్నీ కూడా మన క్రెడిబిలిటీ అనేది ఒక కమోడిటీ అయిపోయింది. దాన్ని ఎట్లా సేల్ చేయాలి, ఎట్లా సేల్ చేస్తే ఎంత లాభం వస్తుంది. న్యూస్ పేపర్స్ అండ్ న్యూస్ ఐటమ్స్ ఆల్సో నౌ బికేమ్ ఒక సెల్లింగ్ ఐటమ్స్. పాలిటిక్స్ లో కూడా మనం చూస్తున్నాం. వాట్ ఈస్ ద నీడ్ టు ఆర్గనైజ్ వన్ సపరేట్ సెక్షన్ ఫర్ స్ప్రెడింగ్ దేర్ వ్యూస్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి పొలిటికల్ పార్టీకి ఒక దే హ్యావ్ వన్ ఓన్ ఛానల్ ఆర్ ఓన్ మీడియా హ్యాండిల్. Of course, they can express their personal views and their opinions are different areas. But nowadays, what is happening? వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తున్నారు అంటే వాళ్ళ ఎదుటోని తిట్టడమే పరిష్కారం. ఎదుటి పొలిటికల్ పార్టీని తిట్టడం తప్ప వాళ్ళ డెవలప్మెంట్ జర్నలిజం అనేది కనిపిస్తలేదు. 1950s లో, 60s లో, 70s లో కనీసం డెవలప్మెంట్ జర్నలిజం మీద కొంత అవగాహన ఉండేది. ఈవెన్ వర్నాక్యులర్ ప్రెస్ లో కానీ, నేషనల్ ప్రెస్ లో కానీ, ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ప్రెస్ లో కానీ. ఇప్పుడు మనం అది చూస్తున్నామా? ఆ క్రెడిబిలిటీని మళ్ళీ రివైవ్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయొచ్చు? దానికి ఒకటే పరిష్కారం. క్రెడిబిలిటీ పెంచాలనుకుంటే ఒక సొసైటీలోనే జర్నలిజం స్టూడెంట్స్కు ప్రాపర్ వాల్యూ బేస్డ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ టెక్నికల్లీ సౌండ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇవ్వగలిగితే కొంత నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ అట్లీస్ట్ జెన్జీ ఆల్రెడీ వాళ్ళు ప్రింట్ జర్నలిజాన్ని చూడట్లేదు, ప్రింట్ చూసే అవకాశం లేదు. కమింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ 10 years తర్వాత మన ప్రింట్ మీడియా ఉంటుందో చాలా మంది చాలా స్టడీస్ కూడా చెప్తా ఉన్నాయి. కానీ అట్లీస్ట్ ఈ డిజిటల్ జర్నలిజంలో కూడా ఒక వాల్యూ బేస్డ్ సిస్టమ్ని ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేయగలిగే అవకాశం ఇండస్ట్రీకి అకాడమీకి ఇంకా ఉంది. దాని వైపు నుంచి ఆలోచించాల్సిన అవసరం ఉందని ప్యానలిస్ట్ కూడా భావించారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. ఐడ్ లైక్ టు థ్యాంక్ ఆల్ ద ప్యానలిస్ట్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ యువర్ ప్రెషియస్ టైమ్. నౌ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ paucity of time, we are not able to give time, but anybody wants to ask any question, please, 1 or 2 questions, please, for the panel. Sushil Rao, okay, nene dorkinna anna come.
I just see it's not about the because I cloned myself.
Give me a mic.
You're getting a mic, yeah.
I cloned AI for myself, like because I just use different models. I just built a kind of AI assistant, and that when you talk about like something you just ask that like apology it has given, but there are a lot of things actually which build, like for example as a AI engineer, I work as a AI engineer, but the things like jailbreaking, prompt injections and all. But AI, see, all of the panel actually I just, there's a problem, like, because human AI cannot actually go beyond human intelligence. That is what exactly we can take actually from the Immanuel Kant, like he wrote a book, Critic of Pure Reason, like, because because already what is existing data, so that actually is that is being trained on different models, and we're asking questions and this is the prompt and it gives answer. So then we can't actually expect, more than that, what we already knew that. Because the God's ontology doesn't actually give you. If you ask about the existence of God, it does not give you. So we have to keep it in mind that. And one thing I want to quote that Walter Benjamin actually said that mechanical reproduction, he said that like, so the aura actually what we lost, but the same thing, the authenticity is a problem. And when she actually mentioned that like the future people do not even believe in the truth. But where was the truth? Like, even in the earlier also, the reporters actually, pumping in a misinformation, false information. So then people are actually analyzing it, like what was earlier truth and then what is now. So then that is what exactly, so we are kind of fed up with all this kind of stuff. And then this is what exactly I just, interviewed many 18, 16-year people, like, so what they are consuming.
Ask straight questions.
So that is what exactly I asked you, like, so what is a personal assistant actually said, like, how do you build that?
Oh my God, that is.
Okay, I'll just tell you in 1 minute. Your AI assistant, if you want to build, it will be based on all the facts that you want first. So that will be the base. There is one danger in this also. So I built my own custom GPT for a purpose, and I started using it. When I started using it, it was expected to function in a way that it will only take information from the material that I fed it. But it went and generated something else altogether. I asked it, I have put instructions that you should not go beyond the knowledge that I have given you. I said, why did you do that? Then it says, I use ChatGPT Pro. 5, the latest one. So it says, even if I get 1 centimeter of space, I'll run away and do whatever I wish to do. Then I said, I have a ChatGPT Pro subscription. Then I don't think I should rely on you because you're not delivering me what I want you to deliver. And you know what response it gets? Yeah, you can try Claude and do it. Okay, so they're just hallucinating as much as they can, even if you feed it with information. So it is a developing thing. We'll have to put up with it, feed it, expect best results, and then feed it again to get better results.
It is like this. You can tell children not to always speak the truth and not lie. But children will be inventive and they will come up with new excuses whenever they have to, because that is also evolution and that's also a way of living for children to be able to handle dire situations. So all models and your integrity of your data is never secure. Sushil, you're talking about building your own thing. It's going to use your data elsewhere also. You never know where it's not in a safety locker for sure. And it's going to apologize for everything that it does. If you ask it very sternly, it will tell you, and it will also, like human beings, praise you to the skies. What a brilliant idea. Yeah. What a brilliant project you've come up with. And all that it will tell you. So it will be so boosted that that's why youngsters now are getting very confused about who they really are, because they're always talking only to a ChatGPT or to all these machines which are telling them that you're doing something so brilliant. And promptly apologize kuda chestundi. Kani it's a huge risk. And I'm telling you today, and 10 years down the line, I'll meet you and you will I agree with me on saying that it is the crisis will be of truth, crisis will be of credibility.
Thank you very much. Any straight question, please, Hemant Satyanarayana. Straight question, please. Don't have much time. Already getting.
Great panel discussion, everyone. I'm a little confused, right? We're talking about AI and we're talking about credible journalism. There are three things that I could sort of gather, right? So one is, credible news, right? News as such, right? Second is entertaining news, how you deliver. Sometimes it's either entertaining or it's just entertainment, right? So entertainment, news, and lastly, I also heard some of you talk about revenue generation for the business, right? So revenue, ads, and all of that, right? So what is your advice for a future journalist, and what is your advice for a future AI assistant of how to strike a balance between these three things, right? Like news, credible news, entertainment, and revenue.
I'm happy to do that. This is the ecosystem. For sure, we all know that we want factual news, something that tells us the truth. If it is not going to be in an engaging manner, something that is not in a format that can catch attention, especially with a generation which has a very limited attention span, you need entertainment, and nothing wrong or looking down upon news being delivered in an engaging manner. Entertainment doesn't mean totally, no brains used kind of a thing. Entertainment is something that is able to emotionally engage you and leaves you with a particular message, and therefore that is required. And for your independence, that sustainability, you need the economics, the advertising revenue, and all news organizations or otherwise are going into these channels to generate revenue and try to become independent. What Sir was talking about is that already we are existing in an ecosystem where credibility is becoming very low, attention spans and interest in news is very low. And what he spoke about is because of ownership patterns, the content that is being generated by ownership patterns, and very optimistically he spoke about why are political parties getting into it. Half the revenue in the advertising world, or not advertising, in the journalistic world, we won't have jobs if because most of the newspapers are owned, backed, funded by political parties. So the only thing that we must probably be asking for is that our constitution also does not prevent any political party from owning any newspaper or media channel. Only thing is, let's have transparency, let's have balance, and those norms of journalism being introduced in this while revenue is allowed, because we don't have a model where revenue will come by itself. Nothing is going to get funded by itself. Media will die if you don't have these people coming in with their, whether it's corporate or political money, unfortunately. So that's why you need models that are able to, that's why I was appealing to youngsters that if you can generate models that are self-sustaining, they could be small, because we don't need huge media organizations like mammoth things like Times of India or everything all the time. They are also there at a certain level. But now we have small ones, which are hyper-local news, which are able to give you credibility, which can also be sustainable. I think Tulsi was supposed to be on this channel. She also created something that is credible, and that is now making revenue for. And I think that's the road to go.
Trust is very much important, as you know.
It's the bottom line of trust if you're in the space of news.
If you lose credibility, it affects to the democracy also. We proudly say as a fourth estate. Journalism is nothing but fourth estate. But how can we claim fourth estate?
Is affected. of a journalist at whom you're always throwing stones, you are hitting yourself in the head. జనాలకు అది అర్థం కావట్లేదు. మన అరే వాళ్ళ మీద అవుతుంది కదా అని they are very happy. They feel very happy that people are throwing stones. They don't realize that your democracy is dying because you don't allow independent voices to exist there or support those voices.
Proudly we are claiming fourth estate, but what happened now? What is there? And now I request respected panelists to please kindly accept our felicitations as a token of respect. I request Professor Sudharani Garu, Senior Professor and Director, GRCD, to conduct this, to felicitate her. Yes. Okay.
ఏమైనా ఫోటో తీసుకుంటారా లేదా?
सुशील इतना डरा दिया, सबको सब कर देंगे.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Phone number is yeah.
Manisha. You look so much. What at the piano?
Wow.
Photo na? Photo.
Oh, really?
Later on,
Unless also. Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, sir, for giving your wonderful talk on credibility of news in AI era. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is time for break for lunch time. Always we like. Now break for lunch. After half an hour, we'll come back and we'll start technical session. First technical session, Professor Visharaman Garu already here. I thank you very much, madam. Lunch maximum half an hour. Please come back soon. After 2:30, we can start our technical session. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.